The Daily Read. Your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
Welcome to the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. Today we're going to talk about One Piece. This by far is the greatest anime that I've seen on television. The show has been going on for almost 22 years, and I binge watched it. A friend of mine who likes anime also put me on to it, and at first I thought Dragon Ball Z was like the greatest because of the timeline. It goes Goku from a kid all the way up into a grandfather throughout the years. But One Piece, when I binge watch One Piece, it has 1,200 episodes, people. 22 years of this show. And when I tell you it's the greatest adaptation of a comic manga into anime, I mean that. Not only is it the greatest as far as anime goes, but he crafted a very if you blink you'll miss it story. And it all started with episode 1. Everybody missed it. I missed it when I watched episode 1 because I just dismissed this as a regular anime that got a little action in it. But it's much more than that. You see, you are the One Piece. And a lot of people don't understand me when I say that, so I'm going to explain it to you. Because there's life lessons in this anime that this Japanese man put out there, and it's hard. It's hard. And I'm going to prepare you, okay? Number one, let me get this out the way. I'm working on my sound because the last couple of episodes I've had sound problems because of my generator. If you ever install a stereo system in your car and you put the hot wire right next to the RCA cables, it'll cause a buzzing sound in your speakers. You know, when we did it as kids, we always had to put the hot wire on the left side and the RCA plugs that go to the speakers on the right side to keep that buzzing noise out of your speakers when you're playing your music. It's the same way with podcasting. When the generator kicks in, it causes an electrical buzz that distorts your voice. So now I'm trying to work on that. I've cut the camera off, and I'm trying to work on getting the generator a little farther away or cut it off altogether while I'm doing the show. So I'm working on the sound. So let's get back to the show. You see, everybody should watch this from the age of 70 to 14. If you lower than 14, you can watch it, but you're not going to really understand it. You're just going to think it's another cartoon. But once you hit about 14, 15, or 16, you will start to understand the meaning of this anime. They have a lot of action-packed anime out there, a lot of provocative anime out there, even a lot of X-rated anime out there. But as far as action and a storyline that really has meaning, this right here is right up there at the top. And I think everybody should take the time to binge watch it. The new season just came out, and the creator of the show said he wants to run the show maybe 2 more years because he wants to start on a new project. And the new project is going to be Luffy and their descendants, his crew and their descendants. So I'm going to get into why you are the One Piece and what Gold Roger was trying to explain to the rest of the pirates and the people watching him get executed. So let's continue on with the show. You see, Gold Roger, this guy right here, Gold Roger. Gold Roger was the king of the pirates, okay? And like I said, this is a spoiler alert. If you don't want to spoil the show because you plan on watching it, by all means skip this whole show and then come back to it later. But if you're not planning on watching the show, just pay attention, just listen. Especially my people on Iheart Radio. Some of you guys might be anime fans, I don't know, gamers who like anime. Gold Roger sailed the seas and became the king of the pirates. His right hand man, which is the guy on the, when you facing the screen, he's on the left with the glasses, that's Rayleigh. The guy on the right is Scrapper Gabon. Every captain has a left and right hand man, okay? Just like Luffy has Zoro and Sanji as his right hand and left hand man. So as Gold Roger found the end of the road, he was bleeding inside from some kind of illness he had. He was spit blood up in his handkerchief, and he told his right and left hand man, I'm going to turn myself in to the Navy government, and more than likely they're going to execute me, but I don't want you to come save me. He was already dying, but he wanted to give one last message to the rest of the pirates, and the only way he could do that was to get executed, because they give you your final words and they record it and broadcast it over the screens all over the world. So that was the only way he can give his message out to all the pirates all over the world, was when he got executed. So he told Rayleigh and Scrapper Gabon, don't come save me. So as he getting executed, all of the pirates, that's Scrapper Gabon and Rayleigh when they were younger. That's his left and right hand man. And that's Gold Roger when he was at the peak of his power. Right here. When Gold Roger said, when the pirates, it was thousands of them standing out there watching him get executed, and millions over the screens, right? So, like I said, the spoiler alerts, if you don't want to, if you're not planning on watching the show, it's okay to listen. But if you want to watch the show first and then come back to this video, by all means. But the pirates thought that he was some rich pirate who, now this is episode 1, 22 years ago. This right here is episode 1. And the first clue that there is no treasure was in episode 1. And that's crazy to me, because you're not going to catch on to this until you watch about season 6 or 7 or 8. That's when you'll catch on that there is no gold. You are the One Piece. So the pirates was begging him before he died to tell them where he buried his treasure. He threw his head back and laughed like he always do. He said, if you want me treasure, you're just gonna have to get on your ships and go out and find it. That was the first clue. It's not about the treasure. The One Piece is the pirates. It's you. You're the One Piece. It's your experiences. It's your crew. See, they all rode around the world together, fighting other pirates, fighting the Navy. And when they got to this island at the end of the road, they buried the treasure together. 20 of them. 20 of the men that he still had left on his ship, they buried a treasure chest. And then they all threw their heads back and started laughing and walked off and went back to their ship. That's letting you, that was clue number 1. There is no gold. Okay? Very first season, very first episode, when they was executing him, he laughed at them and told them, you want me gold? Go out and find it. The second clue, now this is interesting. The second clue, because you know all of these anime cartoons, or this is Luffy and his crew, all of these anime shows have movies that they bring out, cartoon anime movies, and they had a flashback movie of Goldie Roger's life. And in the flashback, they would get treasure and spend it on beer, rum, horn around with the women, going to different islands, getting their ship patched up, sharpening their blades. That's what they spent their gold on. They never had gold. It was all about the life experience. Okay, that was clue number 2 when they did that off movie about Gold Roger's life. Luffy's grandfather is Garp. Luffy's grandfather is a Navy admiral, and Gold Roger and a Navy admiral had to team up. A pirate and a Navy admiral had to team up to fight another pirate that was stronger than both of them. And that's what made Gold Roger the king of the pirates, because he beat that other pirate. So years later, it was about the adventure. It wasn't about gold and treasure. And that was the second clue when they did that off movie about Goldie Roger and Garp fighting Quebec. Quebec was like the worst pirate out there. I mean, he was slaughtering people. And Gold Roger was about fun. He would fight you, but he was about laughter, fun, food, drink. You know, the gold coins, he would just give it away to the poor islanders. He didn't care about the gold. That was clue number 2. Clue number 3, that there is no gold, was when that's Jinbei. The first picture didn't have Jinbei in it, but this is the crew with Jinbei. Jinbei is the fish man right here. But the third clue was when Luffy met Rayleigh. Remember, I said Rayleigh and Scrapper Caban was Gold Roger's right and left hand man. So Luffy met Rayleigh and told Rayleigh he was going to be the king of the pirates one day, just like his captain Gold Roger. Rayleigh laughed at him. So Rayleigh said, you know what, I like you, kid. I'm going to give you the coordinates to where the treasure is. And he wrote it down on a piece of paper. Listen carefully to what I'm about to say, people. Usopp was about to grab the piece of paper. Luffy grabbed it first and tore it up into tiny pieces and told him, we don't want it like that. We're going to find it ourselves, and I'm going to become the king of the pirates, and my crew is going to be the best pirate crew out here. Rayleigh looked at him and smiled, because he said, you remind me of my captain. That lets you know it's not about the gold. There is no gold. Rayleigh was going to give Luffy the coordinates. That's Rayleigh right there training with Luffy. Rayleigh taught Luffy how to fight. But he was about to give Luffy the coordinates to the gold treasure, or the so-called gold. But there is no gold. He just didn't want Luffy to get out here and get himself killed. You see what I'm saying? So that's clue number 3. You know, you running around out here just gonna give it to him, like, and none of the crew that buried it with him went back and got it after he died. Think about that. 20 people that was left on his ship at the end of the line, the end of the road, Because they done traveled around the world together trying to find a place that's basically the end of the line. And when they got there to the island of Laugh-Tale, they buried the treasure there together, started laughing, turned around, walked back to the ship to drink some more rum, and none of them ever went back and got the treasure. And then when he got executed, season 1, 22 years ago, he laughed at the other pirates and told them, if you want my treasure, go out and find it. It's on Laugh-Tale at the end of the line. You got to travel around the world to get there. It's about the life journey. It was never about the treasure. You are the One Piece. That time you ride your mountain bikes with your friends down the street on a summer day and the breeze hit your face. That's the One Piece. The first time you jump out of airplane with your friends in the military. My mother said she almost peed herself. That's the One Piece. It's your life experiences. That time you get stung by a bee and you disturb a bee nest and you start laughing running down the street. You know one bee ain't shit. You can swat him and kill him. But 20 of them? Oh no, I'm not finna get stung by that many. That's the One Piece. That's your life experiences. And that's what Gold Roger wanted to tell all the pirates. If you want my treasure, go out and find it. Whoever finds Laugh-Tale first, you're the king of the pirates. And all of them pirates ran out to their ships in their mind thinking that they was finna go out here and find a lot of gold that Gold D. Roger hid. But there is no gold. There's probably a note inside their chest telling that person, you're the king of the pirates. Crazy. Crazy. But the clues was there from season 1 and everybody missed it. I'm finna give you clue number 4. And this is gonna mess some of you up. Clue number 4, because it's subtle and it's one of those blink and you'll miss it moments. But let me get to it. Okay, right here. We're gonna start with Usopp. And mind you, they made a live action TV series off the show. That's how good the show is. The cartoon. That's how good this anime show is. I gotta stop calling it cartoon because anime guys get mad at me. Anime is different from cartoons. Cartoons is for like 11, 12-year-olds, 8-year-olds. Anime, you liable to see tits on anime. You liable to see sex on anime. Anime is a different ball game than regular cartoons. Okay, we're gonna get that straight. So excuse me for my anime fans out there if I call anime a cartoon. But this is the guy they got playing Usopp in the TV series. And before I get to clue number 4, that there is no gold, I want to talk about the TV series. I watched the first season of the TV series, and I'm going to tell you guys, it's good. I just hope that they don't mess it up, because sometimes the creators try to change things and add their 2 cents on something that's already great. Okay? And they shouldn't do that. The anime is great, and if they're gonna make this live action series that's on Netflix, I think it's on Netflix right now. But if they're gonna make the live action, they need to keep to the script. And so far, I've seen them keep to the script. They haven't veered off the script yet. Okay, they haven't veered off the script yet so far that I've seen. But this is what happened to Cavill, the guy that plays Superman. This is what happened to him and The Witcher. Because The Witcher was never supposed to be about the female, that girl. What's her name? It's on the tip of my tongue, but you know who I'm talking about. The ugly witch that turned into a beautiful woman, and then she fell in love with The Witcher. And the whole TV series is supposed to be about The Witcher. Yennefer, that's her name, Yennefer. I read the books, and I've watched the comics, I've watched the anime. When they adopted The Witcher to live action, the first season was good because it was all about The Witcher. Then they started pushing this female agenda to where it's all about Yennefer. The Witcher was a side character, but that's not what The Witcher is about. It's about young kids, young males, being forced into witchcraft to be some kind of demon hunter. That's what it's about. They go around paying families who are poor for their young boys, and then they take the young boys back to the castle, experiment on them, and if they survive the experiment, which is like an 80% failure, the 20% that survive the experiments become witchers. And that's what the show's supposed to have been about. But they turned around and made it a Yennefer show. It's all about the witchcraft and the witch and her story. Yennefer in the books is a side character. Somebody who's in love with the Witcher, but she's evil. He don't like her like that, but she helps him sometimes. You know, she'll pop up when he needs help, and she'll jump in the way. It's almost like Catwoman, and Batman. Batman, you know, he fucks with Catwoman, but he knows she's a villain. That's kind of the dynamics of Yennefer and the Witcher. The Witcher messes with Yennefer, but he knows that she's an evil witch and she'll do some evil stuff. And they made it all about her. So I hope that during the lifetime of this show that they brought out on Netflix, that they don't change the script, because the TV anime series is perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. And you need to watch it. You need to binge watch it. They have the Japanese dub, but they also got an American dub that you can find if you look for it. Most people find the Japanese dub, but they do have, because I watched it. I watched the English dub, and the English dub is good. So get out there and find it. But let's talk about the fourth reason that I found out that there is no treasure. You see, each one of these characters that Luffy meets have their own One Piece. Remember what I said, you are the One Piece. The first time a girl kiss you, the first time a cop give you a speeding ticket, that's the One Piece. The first time you get on an airplane or a cruise liner and go on a cruise, that's the One Piece. The new people you meet, the people that die on you, that's the One Piece. And that's what Gold Roger was trying to explain to the whole world. You want my treasure, you got to get on your ship and go out there and find it. And he threw his head back and laughed before they executed him. So we're going to start with Usopp, and I'm going to explain. This is the fourth reason that there is no treasure. We're going to start with Usopp. Usopp's father is a marksman who works for a pirate named Shanks, and Shanks is the one who gave Luffy the straw hat when he was a kid. So when Shanks found out that Luffy had a crew, and he saw Usopp he told Usopp, he said, "Hey, ain't that your son?" And he looked at it, and he was like, "Yeah." He said, "You want to go over there and holler at him?" He was like, "Nah," because he want to see how his son does as a pirate. But when it comes to Usopp, Usopp pissed at his father because his father left to be a pirate and never came back to get him and his mother. So when Luffy met Usopp, Usopp wanted to be a marksman like his father, but he had a slingshot. Now, don't get it twisted. Usopp can kill you with that slingshot. If he put a sharp rock in there sharp enough to kill you, he can kill you with that slingshot. So don't get it twisted. So Usopp has a slingshot, but his father has a rifle. And that's his One Piece. That's his journey. To be better than his father, and to be a better pirate than his father, and a better shot than his father. We're going to move on. This is Usopp now. That's Usopp before, and this is what Usopp looked like now. We're going to start with Nami. Nami, when Luffy ran across Nami, she was a thief, and she knew how to read maps. So Luffy wanted somebody that knew how to read maps. So here come Nami. Nami's mission now in life is to be the first person to chart a map of the world, because she knows how to read maps good, and she was taught that by this evil fish guy, and he had her stealing and stuff like that. So Luffy rescued her from the dude, so now she's a part of his crew as a navigator. That's Nami. That's her One Piece. To go around the world and chart the entire world, to be the first person to actually make a chart of the entire world. Let's move on. Robin. Nico Robin. She's the second woman on the crew. Robin's mother was an archaeologist who got murdered by the world government. You see, the world government is corrupt, and there's a 200-year history that the world government tried to suppress. Something happened 200 years ago that the world government don't want nobody to know. So Nico Robin's mother taught her how to be an archaeologist and dig up old relics. So Nico's mother got killed right in front of her, and if they would have known that Nico was her mother's daughter, they would have killed her too. So right before the man killed Nico's mother, he asked her, "Hey, is this your daughter?" Because they was going to kill her too. And she was like, "I don't know that girl." And Nico was like, "Mom, why you denying me?" But she was like, "I don't know her." And then they killed her. So Nico's mission is to figure out, this is her One Piece, this is her life's journey, to figure out why they killed her mother and what the government is hiding from the world 200 years ago. That's her journey. That's Nico awakening her powers. Let's go to Jinbei. This guy right here is funny. Jinbei was a pirate when Luffy was a kid, and the fishmen have pirates under the sea. The humans have pirates above the sea. So Luffy had to go and save Jinbei's island from some basically terrorists, and nobody on Fishman Island wants to fool with humans, because the humans have been trying to kidnap mermaids for a long time to turn them into slaves, like pets. So nobody wanted to give Luffy a blood transfusion, right? Jinbei said, "You know what? He saved all of our lives. I'm going to give him blood transfusion." So the fishmen were like stunned, because Jinbei was the main one telling fishmen they need to stay away from humans. So now, after the blood transfusion, Luffy tells Jinbei, I want you to be a part of my crew. Jinbei was like, man, I was a pirate when you was a kid. I don't want to do it no more. I'm old. And then he saw him get on that ship, and he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I got one last journey in me. That's another clue that it's not about the goal at the end of the line. It's about the journey. That's the One Piece. So Jinbei joined the crew, and his One Piece is to go on one last hurrah, one last journey. I'm gonna get to y'all favorite characters. I'm gonna get to Sanji and Zoro in a minute. Chopper. Chopper has a strange story, but his One Piece is is wild. Chopper was a regular reindeer, eating, foraging in the forest, and he ran across a devil fruit and ate it. Now let me explain to you what the devil fruits are. If you're not planning on watching the show, I want to explain to you what the devil fruits are. Something happened 200 years ago to the world that changed the whole world, and the world government don't want people to know about it. But the devil fruits are these mythical fruits that once you eat it, you develop powers. Okay? And then if somebody kills you or you die, those powers disappear into the atmosphere and pop up somewhere else in the world. You understand how that works? So Chopper, whoever had Chopper's fruit before Chopper got it, must have died. And then the fruit went into the atmosphere, dissipated, and reincarnated somewhere on the earth where Chopper was. So when Chopper was a regular reindeer, he ate the fruit and became a human. He ate the human fruit. Now the human fruit makes you an intelligent being. So if you're a regular human and you eat the human fruit, you become real, your mind state enhances. You become like a genius. But since Chopper was a regular reindeer and ate the human fruit, he became a human. So now Luffy and his crew meet Chopper and an old lady, and Chopper's story is tragic. Chopper was found by a doctor. Okay? The doctor found that Chopper can speak and was intelligent, so he took him back home and started training Chopper how to be a doctor. So when the doctor died, the old lady took over, took care of Chopper. So when Luffy and them found Chopper, they was telling Chopper, why don't you come with us? We need a doctor. At first, Chopper wasn't going to go because he was scared. And then the old lady told him, he said, I'm old. I'm going to die. What you going to do when I die? So that's how Chopper got on the crew with Luffy. But see, Chopper's mission, Chopper's One Piece, is to be the world's best doctor and find a cure, a one pill that anybody can take to cure all illnesses. That's Chopper's life mission. And he loves to go find herbs. Every time they stop somewhere in the island, he go out and find herbs. So that's Chopper's One Piece. This is like clues they leaving you that it's not about Gold Roger's treasure. It's about the journey. Look at Brook. Brook's funny. Brook was a pirate 100 years before Luffy was even born. And he bad with a sword too. He done fought hundreds of battles. That's why he's a skeleton. You see, I told you about the devil fruits, right? His devil fruit is unique. He can't die. It's probably a way to kill him, but every time you kill Brook, 24 hours later, his spirit comes back to his body. You see what I'm saying? So you can kill Brook, but he ain't finna stay dead. He gonna get up, look around, everybody around him's dead, and he'll get up, walk away, and go join another crew. That's Brooks' life. That's what he was doing. He would join the crew. They all get into a fight with other pirates or the Navy. He'll die, and then he'll wake up with everybody around him dead, and he'll just move on. So when they ran across Brooke had got trapped on a ghost ship. And the shit was funny when they found Brooke, because Luffy was the only one that wasn't scared. Luffy was like, it's a skeleton, can we keep him? The skeleton was like, what? So the shit was crazy. So Brooke's life mission is to find two people that are still alive from when he was a pirate. There's a whale. See, Brooke is a musician, and Luffy told him he wanted a musician on the ship, cause you know when everybody's singing and dancing on the ship, it's a good time. You know what I'm saying? It's about the journey. So Brooke told him, nah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. So Brooke was about to go about his business, and then Luffy told him about a whale that they saw that was massive. His name was Naboo. Now, mind you, Brooke knew the whale. Brooke knew this whale when he was a baby, before he got so big. The whale now can swallow a whole ship. So Brooke was like, yo, let me join your crew, cause I wanna find my old friend. He's the only one that I can relate to that's my age. You know what I'm saying? That was around when I was alive. So Brooke joined the crew because you know, Luffy told him, I'll take you back to see him. You know what I'm saying? So now Brooke is on the crew, and Brooke done got used to the guys now. So that's Brooke. That's his One Piece. His One Piece is to find the people that's still alive from when he was alive. So now here's Frankie. Frankie got an unusual story and got a crazy life journey. Frankie's boss or master was a shipwright. Remember, Gold Roger was the king of the pirates. Gold Roger had a ship that was so massive and strong that even the Navy couldn't bring him down. So when they killed Gold Roger, they went back and found the guy that made that ship and executed him and took the blueprints, because they didn't want nobody else making a ship like that. Now, Frankie tried to stop them from executing his master when he was a kid. They broke his arms and broke his legs, so Frankie couldn't do nothing. So he went back to the shipwright's office where all the equipment was and turned himself into a cyborg. Just like on Mortal Kombat, where you got the guy with the metal arms, that's Frankie. Frankie said he was going to live long enough to get revenge off the people that killed his master, his boss, because the old man took him in and taught him how to build a ship. So when Frankie run across Luffy, and Luffy told him he was going to be king of the pirates, Frankie got the idea, you know what, I'm going to make your ship for you. So now Frankie's on the ship because his One Piece in life is to be known as the man who built the new Pirate King ship. That's what he wants to be famous for, just like his master. He wants to be famous for the guy that built the king of the pirate ship. So the Thousand Sunny is a hell of a ship. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But this is the life journey that each of these individuals are going through on the show. It's not even about the gold. The only person even wants gold is Nami. She the only one wants gold. Now we finna get to the main three: Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. These three are something else. Okay. First we're gonna talk about Sanji, because every pirate captain has a right and left hand man. That's Zoro with the sword, and that's Sanji the cook. Zoro protects the ship, Sanji cooks for the crew. But don't get it twisted. These two right here will destroy some shit. Okay? They will destroy some shit. Let's start with Sanji. Sanji's the playboy of the crew. You know, he's always trying to hunt down the ladies. Sanji is part of a royal family of assassins. And he ran away from his family when he was a kid because they injected him with some kind of hormones that made his bone structure dense and made him have powers. Sanji didn't eat a devil's fruit. He got his powers through experimentation. People experimented on him. So he ran away, and that old man saved him. The old man saved him and taught him how to be a cook. So when Luffy ran across Sanji and found out he can cook real good, Luffy helped Sanji fight off some pirates that was trying to extort the old man. So Luffy told him, hey man, why don't you come with me? We need a cook for the ship. Sanji was like, nah, I owe the old man my life. I'm going to stay with him. So the old man told Sanji, listen, go find the blue. The blue is a sea that has the most succulent fish any chef could want. And that's Sanji's One Piece. Sanji wants to be known as the greatest chef alive. And he knows that if he can catch food, fish, and oysters and lobsters out of the blue, the big blue, then he could be considered the best chef on the planet. So now that's Sanji's dream. That's Sanji's One Piece. And it comes out later on when he meets his siblings that they want him back into the family because he's a part of a family that's assassins. And Sanji, he was wondering all his life whether he know how to fight real good. It's muscle memory. Because they taught him as a kid how to be an assassin, but when the old man found him and taught him how to cook, he didn't never use his assassin skills. So now Sanji, boy, he's rough. He's a rough one. When he gets mad, he's a rough one. Now we're finna talk about Zoro. This is one of the stars of the show. This cat right here is crazy. I'm laughing like Gold Roger right now. When I tell you anybody from the age of 70 to 14 need to watch this show, binge watch it, you're going to get a sense of I am the One Piece. Your life journey is the One Piece. That is your treasure, and treasure it. Don't let B-film actors steal your movie. You're the star of your movie. You understand? I hope somebody out there in Radio Land is understanding me. You are the star of your movie. Whether you're rich or you're poor, whether you live in a third world country or a top-notch first world country. Now let's get to Zoro. When Luffy found Zoro, he was tied to a cross. I think I talked about him a little earlier, but you know, he went in there, stole Zoro's swords, and freed him. And when Luffy saw how good Zoro can fight with not two swords but three swords, the third sword that's in Zoro's mouth, you gotta understand, Zoro when he was a kid was trained by a swordsmith. But the swordsmith had a little girl that was better than him with the sword. The little girl used to always beat Sanji. So Sanji said, not Sanji, but Zoro. So Zoro said, you know what? I'm going to use two swords. So she still beat him with one sword and he had two. So one day Zoro came back from doing something outside the house, and when he came back, the little girl was dead. I think they're going to feel that story out. I don't know. but she died from strange circumstances. Okay? When Zorro came back, the little girl was under a sheet and she was dead, and her father told Zorro that she died from complications of an illness. I don't believe that. I think something else was going on with that storyline, but they never went back to it. I think they're going to go back to it sooner or later. But Zorro fell to his knees because he never got a chance to beat her as a swordsman. So he asked the master, can I have her sword as a gift to remember her by? So that sword that's in his mouth, that's him always taking her with him. That's his way of telling her, you're still a better swordsman than me because I never got a chance to beat you. So I'm going to carry you around with me forever. So now he carries her around with him, and he sticks that sword in his mouth, and he fights with the other two swords. But don't get it twisted. He can still use that sword that's in his mouth too. He's a beast. So now Zorro, now when it comes to Mihawk, let me tell you how this goes. Mihawk right now is the greatest swordsman alive. Mihawk has a big blade on his back. And when Zorro challenged him, Mihawk took a little bitty knife off of his chest. It was like a cross that had a knife stuck in it. He took a little bitty knife off of his chest and beat Zorro with basically a butter cutter, a butter knife. Zorro was pissed. So that's Zorro's mission in life. That's his One Piece. He wants to be known as the greatest swordsman alive. So he told Luffy, take me with you because I gotta beat this guy. And the only way I can beat this guy is if I become better. So he saw an opportunity with Luffy to go around on a journey with him because he knew he was going to have to fight other people. And the other people he fought would make him stronger until he could fight Mihawk again. So Mihawk gave him that scar that's on his face. So that's Zorro's One Piece. That's his mission in life, is to become the greatest swordsman. And believe me when I tell you, this cat right here is something else. He don't even have a devil fruit. He has what you call haki. Haki is when you can take your essence and coat it around your arms and make it stronger to punch with. But see, he does something different. He takes his essence, instead of hardening his arms to make his punches stronger, he puts it in his swords. So this cat right here is off the chain. So that's Zorro. Then we come to Luffy, the captain of the ship. That's Zorro right here in his beast mode. Now we come to Luffy. Luffy's One Piece in life, his journey is he wants to be able to give Shanks back that hat and prove to him that he became the Pirate King. Because Shanks told him, he said, man, hold on to my hat, youngster, and whenever you do become the Pirate King, you can give me back my hat. That's why they the Straw Hats. That's why Luffy wear that hat. Because he told Shanks, he said, I will become the Pirate King. I'm going to become a better pirate than you. Shanks just laughed at him. Now remember, Shanks is the one that was under Goldie Roger. And Shanks likes Luffy too, because everybody says in the comic that he reminds them of Goldie Roger. You see, Goldie Roger didn't care about gold. Luffy don't care about nothing but rum, beer, and food, meat. That's all he care about. And adventure. Every island they stop on, he'll jump straight off the ship and go exploring. The rest of it be like, man, I don't know, this island look kind of unsafe. He said, it'll be alright. He'll just jump straight off the ship. And that's how Gold Roger was. That's why I'm telling you, when the timeline, when you watch it from the beginning to the where it is now, you will see over the timeline that there really is no treasure. They are the treasure. They are their experience together. When they shot up to Cloud City in their ship, when they went under the sea to Fishman Island, all the adventures leading up to going to Laugh Tale is the treasure. Your experiences in life is that treasure. You are the One Piece. That's Luffy, Gear 5. Funny as hell. I hope you guys learned something from today about your journey in life, because every journey in life, just like these pirates, you're going to lose people to death. You're going to lose people to you're going to lose people to the prison system. People are just going to disappear out your life, and it's okay. New people are going to come in. And I love this picture right here, because them three right there are off the chain. But you are the One Piece. Your life journey, your movie. That's the goal at the end. You're going to make profit during your lifetime, but your journey and the people that you meet, the places that you go, that other people have never even seen, it will amaze you. That's the One Piece. And that's why I always say everybody from 70 to 14 need to watch this show, because I guarantee you, once you get into about season 12, you're going to be sitting on your porch and be like, what the hell did I just watch? That's how good this show is. That's the One Piece crew. They didn't have Jinbei in this picture. They should have, because Jinbei is a major part of the crew. But this is the Daily Read, and I'm out.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.